Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Adanola Adeshola if you're new around here, and I teach high achievers how to land new jobs they love at companies they love. Today, I am so excited to introduce you to one of my clients, Jomeka, who landed an amazing dream job after being passed over for multiple promotions at her previous company. You are going to love her story, okay? Like, on top of going from overlooked to hired, she got an amazing salary increase that she'll share in a little bit, and she was able to work at a company that was her dream company. Let me tell you, I've worked with clients in dozens of industries, and when you're in the thick of your job search, it can feel too good to be true to land a dream job that really aligns with everything that you're wanting in your career. But I have seen it happen over and over and over again. So without further ado, let's get into it so you can get all the tea. Hi, so excited for you to be here to talk about your success story. I
Yes.
cannot wait to dive into all the details. But before we start, how about you tell us a little bit about where you were before you joined the program?
So before I joined the program, I was unhappy in my career. I was doing learning and development, but wanting to delve deeper into like the D&I side of it, or just D&I in general. I really struggled with just like finding happiness in my job and within the people that I was working with, and just like getting up every day to go to work. I had interviewed for like 9 roles within my company, and I didn't get one of them, which was, it like made me want to like take a step back and see like, okay, so if I'm interviewing for these 9 positions, there's something that's like greater than me that's holding me back. And then in the same breath, it's like, but you're interviewing for these roles and you don't even really want them. You just really just want to get out, but you don't want them. So
I mean, I feel like you just said a lot already, and I'm like, okay, so first of all, you were working at a well-known company before, and so I could imagine that people around you were like, "Oh, you should be happier. You're doing the thing." So
yeah.
how did that affect you to work at an amazing company? To think that, because I know I was in a situation where I worked at an amazing company, and I was like, "Oh, I could just keep going up and up and up here. Like I'm gonna be okay." And then you don't get those promotions, and it kind of feels like, I know for me, a little bit embarrassing, because I'm like, oh, I thought that I was going to be able to just climb the ladder. Everybody thinks I have the dream job, and that's not happening for me. And meanwhile, you see other people at that same company making those progressions. So what was that like for you? Can you relate to that? What was those feelings?
Yeah, I definitely can relate to it. And I felt like one of the feelings was like jealousy. Like I envision myself, or like envision my career of like, okay, I'm meeting all my markers, I'm exceeding, I'm above average, but why can't I like be like the other people who are above average as well and like are really progressing? And then I'm like, okay, like, is there something wrong with me? That like literally crossed my mind all the time. And it took me a while to like get out of that mindset that no, it's not anything that's like wrong with me. It's it's something that is beyond me. Like it's really the company. But it really like hurt my self-esteem when I was interviewing and being passed over, because it just made me feel like, was I not good enough?
Yes, I mean, I feel like that was so transparent to say like jealousy, because I think that's so real, because you look at all the standards and you're like, I check, like
Yes.
I work here just like y'all, I'm doing all of these things. Oh my gosh, I can totally relate to that, and I know so many other people can relate to that. So tell me, like, what was the turning point for you to decide that, all right, I'm not going to keep trying to get promotions here, I'm actually going to try to get a new job, and I'm actually going to get support to make that happen?
So the first thing, like me not looking for other jobs, is like just having a conversation with my partner, and then also just realizing that I didn't like the people that I was working with. And I was like, if I'm going to continue to grow and develop, I should at least like the people that I'm working with, like my experiences that I get with those people, as well as just like wanting to continue to support a brand for the company. And then feeling like I needed extra support is just like when I realized like I can't do it by myself, and like I wasn't trying to get into another support role. I wanted to level up. And I knew that, I just couldn't do that by myself. And then I like randomly was listening to a podcast and you were on the podcast and I was like, I like her vibe. Like, I feel like she can help me. And I was like, at this point in my like career, I was like, I need to invest in myself.
For reading your application, and I remember that you were like, I think it's because my name is Jomeka that I'm not getting interviews. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, she needs to join the program. Come on in, because that is wild. Like, but that just shows how much you were just so confused as to what was the problem and how can I fix that, or really is it me, because that's what I read when you said that. Yeah. Like, is it me? Like, is there something about me that I just cannot change that's going to keep me stuck forever? But for you to even say that and then say, you know what, I'm going to invest in myself to figure it out, I think that that's just so courageous. So for you, like, investing in yourself, was that the first time that you invested in yourself when it came to your career? Was that scary? Like, what were those emotions for that?
Yeah, it was the first time I invested in myself, and I have been talking to my therapist about it for like 6 months, like knowing that I was unhappy, and I was like, but I feel like I need like a career strategist. Like I know this is a taboo, like not a lot of people use them, but I was like, I feel like I need one. And it just felt like everything aligned when I like was listening to that podcast, and I was like, I want to have her elevate me. I want to be elevated by another Black woman. And I just felt like I needed that for myself to really get myself out of my situation and just be happy and like not dealing with like a lot of anxiety and stuff like that.
Right. And I think it was even like your application, like, I'm ready to get like that $10,000 like, you were very specific. I was like, I love her. Like, this is amazing. Like, you're coming in ready.
Yes.
So how did everything change for you? Like, how did this program transform your job search and even how you saw yourself? Because again, you came in not really confident. I remember we had conversations about what kind of hairstyle you should wear to your interviews, because you've always changed your hair to fit into what you thought people wanted. So I obviously know how it transformed you, but talk about that. Like, how did it transform how you thought about yourself and even how you approached your job search?
The program like completely transformed me. It gave me confidence, and it allowed me to just like be my authentic self, to express who I am from the get-go. And either that job is going to accept me or they're not. And I interviewed with braids, and I was like the most confident I've ever been in interviews because I felt like I was me. I was who I wanted to present myself to be. And I can remember in the program, like having days like thinking like in the beginning stages, like, am I overreaching by wanting to be like a program manager or something like that? Like, am I overreaching? Like, I'm going from being like in a coordinator role to, okay, jumping some levels to go and be a program manager. And like, I didn't believe in myself in the beginning that it would actually happen. And then like, progressing through the program and going through the modules and stuff, I was like, no, I can articulate my story, and I know what value I bring. And also all the other little transformations, like the hair and the affirmations through the program, like really helped me like find that confidence.
Yes, I love that. So for you, what was your favorite part of the program? Like, what do you feel like was just like made it so worth it for you?
I feel like it's like 2 parts. One, the like weekly check-ins and like being able to have a community and like tell our stories or get advice, or like knowing that someone's on the same journey as you and that they can relate to whatever happiness or struggles that you're going through. And then the modules, like having access to them after the program is over with. Because when I was interviewing, I was like, okay, let me go back to like the interview part. Okay, let me go back to the negotiation part, and like taking tidbits from each one of those, like as I'm preparing for my interviews. Like those are the 2 pieces that like really helped me through. I wouldn't be like where I am, like in terms of like interviewing without those modules.
Yes, I love it. I mean, I will say, like, I know that the strategies work, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but I love when clients come in and they just do it. Like, they like
Mm-hmm.
trust the process. You came in and you were like, okay, I'm doing boom, 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 boom. This is what I'm about to do. And I know, and what I loved about your story too was there's a time I remember it was on your birthday. You had a lot of different projects going on, stress at work, and you took some time off, which was totally okay. And then you got back into it and you got like an interview the next day
Yeah.
after you applied for the job. So I love that because it's like there's this balance of doing the work but not having to like stress yourself out. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like if I just set aside the time to do this, I'm gonna do it, and I also don't have to dedicate 24/7 to make this
Mm-hmm.
happen. So that's amazing. Okay, so tell us what happened. What was the result? What happened with your job search?
Okay, so you just mentioned my birthday, and
Yeah.
so so that's when I started my interview at the company that I now am working for on Monday. um, but I have reached out to, I think, one of the VPs, and I immediately got a response back from her from an application email. And that led to me like interviewing for one role, the role I didn't get, but they wanted to keep me in the pipeline. Like January, the beginning of January, I like saw a role open and I like sent an email to the recruiter. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Happy New Year, you know, from your templates, very professional but friendly. And told her that I had applied to the role, was interested, went down on my qualifications again, and immediately was put into the candidate pool. And from there, I went through the whole process of the interview. So this is a long process. I went through the process of the interview to find out that they were putting the role on hold. So I didn't initially get the role, and then I was on my third job interview there, for another equality role, and she was also my recruiter for that third role. So she's been my recruiter through the whole process. And she's like, you know, that role that you interviewed for the second time has opened back up, and we don't want to interview any more candidates. We want to offer you the position. She's like, I know you're interviewing for this additional role right here, but I really think that this role would be best for you based on like what you want to do, specifically in like recruiting strategies and equality initiatives and stuff like that. And I had a follow-up meeting with the hiring manager. She called me on the Thursday, had a follow-up meeting on the Friday, and I really like vibed with the hiring manager, and she loved my energy as well. And that Friday, I like got my offer. After having that conversation with her, she was like, there was no one else other than you. Like, this role was meant for you. And I was like, and it was a level up from the previous interview. So the first time it was an associate program manager, and now it was a full-on program manager role, on top of the salary increasing as well. So that I blew that
on
10K.
top of
Yes.
the signing bonus.
Yes. On top of the sign-on bonus. So I blew that little 10K that I was like, oh, I want a 10K increase, to a 23K increase from my current salary. And then just like loving like the company, and like through your process, like really delving deep into like the core of the company, and knowing that like this is where I want to be.
Right. Oh my gosh, I just love this story, because talk about going from interview after interview at your previous company, trying to get promoted to a job that you didn't even want to have, to going through this process, transforming how you think about yourself, transforming how you show up for yourself, transforming how you talk about yourself, to going to your dream company and having multiple interviews with them, and them being able to say, you know what, we actually want to hire you for the role that you actually really want. Like, we're not going to hire anybody else. We don't want to talk to anybody else. It's you. How amazing does that feel?
It feels amazing, but it also feels so surreal, because I'm like, this really happened. Like, I really was able to like really take control of my career. And like, it's my journey, it's my story. It's not someone else writing it and telling me, like my old job, oh, you're gonna do this for now and then we're gonna try and get you somewhere. And no, it's like, no, I'm gonna go after what I want and I'm gonna get it and someone's gonna want me. And that's like the greatest feeling, like to know that they wanted me and I wanted them. Like the relationship is mutual. And it just feels like, it just feels so surreal, but it's so exciting at the same time.
Yes. So how was it putting in your resignation notice?
Oh, it was the greatest feeling. It was like a mic drop. Like I hit them on a Monday at 8:30. I was like, I'm gonna wake up early for this. I had already pre-did my email on a Friday, but I was like, I'm gonna just wait. And I sent it on Monday, and immediately, like 15 minutes later, like one of my managers was calling and was like, I'm so sad. Like, she's like, I knew it was coming because of all the various like situations, but she's like, I'm really gonna miss you, but what are you doing? And then when I told her what I was gonna be doing, she was like, I can't even be mad. Like, this is everything that you wanted. And like, we weren't gonna be able to give it to you.
This is a beautiful story. Like, I just love it because it just reminds me so much of myself. And like, you know, when you're just trying to get the breadcrumbs at your current company and you get the whole loaf, the sandwich, the chips, the drinks, the cookie on the side. Like, that's exactly what happened for you. And I'm speechless. Like, if there is somebody who's like, they're in the situation that you're in, they're wondering if they can have more, if they're stuck, if they can have the career they want. Maybe they've been passed over the same way you have, or they've even maybe been passed over in their job search. What advice would you say to that person who maybe wants to maybe invest in themselves? They've never done it before, but they're nervous, they're scared. What would you tell them? Like, what would be that advice that you would give?
I would say the first thing is to know what you want to do and to know that no matter what, no one else can take that away from you. So that's the first thing. Like, you can't start the journey without knowing your purpose. And then secondly is, are you tired of being sick and tired? And that's like the determining factor. So like, when you are really tired, like, you gotta know that there's someone out there that's gonna support you, and it's okay that you're gonna need support. And with that support, like, the world is yours. Like, you're getting everything you need, no matter like where you are in life, but to really succeed and for no one to really have that control over you anymore, because you have the tools to know what you need to do to be successful for your purpose.
Amen to that. That was a word. So thank you so much. This was just a great conversation because I just feel like so many people find themselves in this situation and they don't always talk about it because it's not something that you don't go around saying like, oh, I've applied for all these jobs or I've applied for all these opportunities at work and I've been passed over. You know, it's a very embarrassing topic.
Yeah.
But I just love that you have been so transparent with sharing that and that now you're on the other side. And it's just a testament to being able to believe in yourself, betting on yourself, investing in yourself, and getting the right support system around you to go after it. And it's not, like you said, it's not always just your friends or your partner. It's having that expert who can say, okay, this is where you're messing. I know I will tell you often, like, all right, we got to get it together. Like, this is just not
Okay.
And then you'll be like, all right, you're right. Let me go figure it out. So I just love that you were willing and dedicated to your goals and that you were able to get this amazing success story. So thank you so much for sharing this.
Welcome.
I am excited for you. I'm proud of you.
Thank
I cannot wait to see what else you have in store.
Yes. The journey is not over.
Just getting started.
Yes.
So after listening to her story, if you're like, oh my gosh, I can relate to all the things that she was going through and you want me to personally help you land that next position that you are going to love, then learn more about my Career Defined coaching program. And if it sounds like the right fit for you, apply. The best thing you can do for yourself is bet on yourself and take a chance on your career goals. And I would love to support you. And I would love to hopefully one day share your success story here too. So if you're interested in Career Defined, the link to learn more and apply is down below in the description box. And if you found this video helpful, leave a comment and let me know what inspired you about Jomeka's story the most, and maybe even how you related to it, because I would love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell. And in the meantime, have a great week, and I will catch you in my next video.